Well, it's been a while since I've done a vlog for my YouTube channel. The pandemic back in 2020, it broke up all of my routines. No excuses, no complaints. In fact, I welcome a lot of the change that came into my life as a result of the pandemic. I'm a little distracted here. Just in case you're wondering, I'm playing around with different lenses, and in fact, that's what I want to talk about in my vlog today. Why am I recording a vlog? I put out some live streams not too long ago, so I have done some content recently here on the YouTube channel, but those were live streams, unedited, and not necessarily well thought out. Not that this one's well thought out. I have no idea what I'm going to say before I say it here. This is just me going off the top of my head. So why am I here today? Well, first and foremost, I signed up for the attendance of a brand new mastermind group that was gonna launch today at 2 p.m. Eastern time for affiliate marketers. Saw an opportunity to join a new group that was forming. It was meeting twice a month on Monday afternoons. I'm like, yeah, I could make that happen. Lo and behold, here I am. 12 minutes after 2 p.m. and I check to see where is everyone. And it turns out they sent an email saying, oh, you know, I had something come up and I have to push the meeting back 2 hours. So pretty much not a good sign for the facilitation of a new mastermind group. And for that reason, I don't think that I'm going to attempt a second chance at it. But anyway, I have some free time. And yet with everything, whether it be the pandemic, whether it be a scheduled call with somebody that, you know, doesn't have the ability to maintain to what they said they were going to do at a specific date and a specific time, especially when formulating a very first meeting for a mastermind group that you're looking to form, these are all okay. I mean, it happens. I just, you know, what does this make possible? And for me, it makes possible this vlog. I'm sitting here looking into a camera lens that I have not looked into for more than 3 years. I think it's been 3 years. I'm looking into, what is this? This is my Canon, I'm reading the lens. Yes, this is my Canon EF 22mm lens. And the f-stop on this thing, I can't remember what it is, but you can tell there's some blurred background, some bokeh in the background. It's a pancake lens, I believe is what they call it. And it's attached to my Canon M50. Oh my gosh, I haven't used this camera in so long. The reason why I pulled my Canon camera out, the Canon M50, is because recently I made the decision to start using my teleprompter again. In fact, let me just show you this. I do a lot of coaching. Right there is the teleprompter I'm talking about. I set my teleprompter back up. I hadn't used it in years. I used to have like many thousands of dollars worth of multi-camera angle, video gear, cables and wiring galore. And after the pandemic, I made the decision to simplify some things, to go all in on my coaching, doing tons of Zoom calls. And I wasn't gonna do the same type of productions that I was doing previously. And as a result of that, I packed away a lot of gear, including my teleprompter and all my other multiple cameras and all this other stuff. Well, I decided to get the teleprompter out. One of the reasons why is because people have been interviewing me a lot lately for their podcast. And while most of them have audio audiences, they have caught the bug with YouTube giving some quote unquote functionality to podcasters. And so they're like, hey, yeah, I have an audio podcast, but I'd like to record video with you. And so as a result of that, I wanted the ability to make eye contact while I'm looking at them and being able to see their facial expressions. And then I got to think, it's like, well, gosh, wouldn't it be great if I could do that with my coaching clients? I mean, it's not been too bad. I mean, this is me looking, this is what it would look like if I was looking at my clients through a teleprompter. I'm not using a teleprompter on my M50, but it would, when I was doing coaching calls, I would be looking my client like this, and this is not making eye contact. So this is, it was fine. It was sufficient. But this is me making eye contact with you. This is me making eye contact with the monitor that's right below the camera that I was using, which, by the way, was this camera right here, that is the Insta360 Link camera. Fantastic web camera. In fact, blown away by the quality of it. And one of the things that occurred to me is like, I'm wondering if I might want to put my Insta360 camera 4K webcam back behind my teleprompter lens. But there are some features that come along with my Insta360 Link webcam, and one of them is desktop view. And also the fact that it's a point to tilt zoom, and I can point to different locations and different things in the office here. So I didn't want to do that. As a result, I'm like, okay, well, I used my Canon HF G30 camera. Now this is an actual video camera. I have a G30 and a G40. Both of them are very good for what they're doing, but they don't allow you to have any bokeh. There's really no great depth of field in the background, and it wasn't the look that I was going for. And I don't know why I'm so overly concerned about the look. It's not like I need to impress anybody. I can show up on camera and just be me, and that should be fine. But I know that I'm capable of more, and so one of the things that got me to thinking is like, well, I know that I got some great lenses, and I could definitely pull off the look. Matter of fact, let me change this angle over here. Look at that. Check out. See, even that, see, that's the angle that I'm going for right there. That kind of background playing around. But anyway, I got my Canon M50 out, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could set this up for live streaming. Now, I remember when I first got my Canon M50, a lot of my other friends who did a lot of live streaming also had gotten M50s, and they were talking about all of the hassles they were having getting an M50, Canon M50 camera to work with live streaming. They said it's possible, but there are some things that you have to do. So for example, one of the things you have to do is turn off the autofocus. You have to let it manually focus to be able to get any sort of clean HDMI out. The other thing is that the camera has an auto shutoff, and for you to be able to get around that, you have to have some sort of camera utility. I didn't want to have a USB cable and run this thing off of software. The other thing is if I do decide to get back into video production, I wanted to be able to have my Canon M50, this camera right here, available for me to go and do some other things, such as what I'm doing right now. I like the idea of being able to put this, it's currently sitting on top of one of Pat Flynn's, the Switch Pod. So I can actually just pick this thing up and go like that, right there. This is what my studio is looking like these days. And I'll swing around this way. Woo! Anyway, yeah, I know you want a studio tour. Maybe one day I'll give you a studio tour. It's always changing. In fact, things are going to change again before too long. What I will do is I will show you, I do have this thing going here, and if, hello, so many cameras. And of course my audio is off because I'm using a shotgun microphone, but I have behind me a different Canon M series mirrorless camera, and it's the M200. Now, to be able to pull this off and get the look that I wanted, I didn't want to use a kit lens. This is the kit lens that my M200 came with. It's the 15 to 45 lens. My M50, I bought it with a kit lens as well, and it is an 11 to 22. So I have those for the Canon series. My pancake lens here, the 22 millimeter, I tried that on the M200. It didn't give me what I wanted. So I remembered I still have some great Canon glass. I mean, look, just look at the beautiful, isn't that a gorgeous piece of glass right there? This right here is the Canon 50 millimeter 1.4 aperture. I also have, this is a 33 millimeter Sigma with the 1.4. And I want to show you what I've done over here. So if I peek under the hood, you can see that I actually have my old Canon 60D massive kit lens on there with a EFM to EFS, I think it's called, lens adapter. So that's how I'm pulling this off. Anyway, I have invested far too much time in the past week on this project, figuring, there we go. I spent far too much time figuring out how to do what I want to do. It does have a good bokeh in the background. Again, of course, this monitor is not a great reference monitor right there. So let me do this monitor here. So here I am. Let's see, are you seeing that? That monitor is, hi. This is far too meta. But anyway, I am now looking into my teleprompter, and this is what you're seeing is the HDMI capture on Zoom feeding back to me what the camera is seeing, and this is a much lower resolution monitor over here. This is a very old monitor. It's not clear. It is not as clear as my 4K monitor there. Here's the deal. I've probably got at least 10 hours. If you include thought processes, deciding, do I want to try this? Do I want to try this? Let's order this. Let's find this dummy battery. Oh, by the way, did I mention the fact that I installed Magic Lantern software on my Canon 60D to see if I could get a clean HDMI output on that as well? Anyway, all of that to say that in spite of all this, I got a lot of other work done this week. I have completely updated the description of who my target audience is for my business. If you haven't been on my Work With Me page in the past 24 hours, I encourage you to check it out. Maybe you might be a good fit for the type of coaching that I do. And if you want to see who it is that I work with and the kind of things that I help people overcome, head over to cliffravenscraft.com and click the Work With Me tab. The very second section, it says Do You, and then there's a bunch of bullet points. Read that entire section. That's all brand new. Scroll down the page and look for Free the Dream Workshop. That's been updated. I got that done this week. The other thing that I've been working on is a special program called the Day with Cliff package. I'm getting ready to announce that. I still need to complete the application for it, but if you want to, it's not linked anywhere on the site, but you could go to daywithcliff.com. I still need to add testimonials from people who have actually spent a day with me and talked about their experience. There's testimonials on that page, but I want to add specifically some testimonials for people who've been there, come here into the Next Level Studio, spent an entire day with me. If you're interested in spending an entire day with me here in this studio, you could ask me anything. We could talk about camera gear, we could talk about podcasting, we could talk about life, we could talk about business, we could talk about anything you want. Full day of mentoring and opportunity here in the Next Level Studio. If you're interested, you can get at least the details right now at daywithcliff.com. So I've gotten all of these things done. All of this stuff has been happening in the background while also coaching my existing clients, facilitating my weekly mastermind group of the Next Level Mastermind, and also working with potential clients, doing lots of connecting, and creating episodes of the Cliff Ravenscraft Show and a show that I still produce every single week over at trainwithcliff.com, the Train with Cliff audio journal podcasts. There's lots of things going on. My Train with Cliff, if you have missed hearing from me in my blog, or my blog, I haven't blogged in a long time either. That's been a while. If you've missed hearing what's going on in my life, in my business, the things that I'm working on, every single week, I publish an episode of my Train with Cliff audio journal. It is a behind-the-scenes look at everything that's going on. In fact, the most recent episode of that podcast, let me tell you the title of it. It's titled Time to Shift, Overcoming the Cycle of Late Payments in Coaching Relationships. I talk real, raw, authentic, the things that are going on, the things that I face in my own business, all of the behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm just authentic, transparent. I want people to know what it's really like to own an online business. And I've been doing this podcast since November 22nd, 2018. There are 362 episodes. Check it out, trainwithcliff.com. All right, this is a much longer vlog than I anticipated it being. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more content from me here on YouTube, you know what to do. Make sure to comment below, click the like button, and if you're not already, make sure you hit subscribe and you'll be notified. Oh, and click the notification bell. All the stuff. I don't know how frequently I'll come here, but I'm thrilled that I got my Canon M50 out, and who knows, I might be back soon. Certainly trainwithcliff.com to find out more about what's going on in my world.